Morning, boys and girls. We're on day 2 of the Minnesota hunt here, and last night about midnight, I had a sheriff pull up to the side of my vehicle, shined his lights on in, and somebody had called in, was just wanting to make sure that I was okay or something like that. And I asked him, I was like, is there something wrong? And he's like, no, you're perfectly fine. They just wanted to do a little well check on you, make sure that you weren't still out in the woods or something or whatever. That's pretty cool. I mean, people looking out for you. We got a little bit of snow that was spitting all night long, so anything that's fresh should be completely clear of any sort of snow in it and should look really, really crispy. But the areas where the tire tracks are, it's a little crusty. Gonna get around and start looking for some tracks here. Just a few feet away from where I was camping last night, there was a wolf. The thing walked right past, right on top of the tire tracks from the sheriff that stopped by. Well, we got ourselves a first deer track to look at. Did a little bit of feeding over here. Yeah, nothing too fancy there, but hey, we got deer. That's a respectable track. Not as big as the one yesterday, but I mean, that's a 4-finger track. That's definitely a respectable buck. Not much dew claws though. Well, we got a pack of wolves going through here, running right along the side of the road. Got some big tracks on them. I think I might have just seen a wolf. I just saw glowing eyes. Oh, here. Coyote. Yep, that was a coyote. Just keep getting snow here. This is fantastic. There was no snow in the forecast. It's a little tricky that it's happening later in the morning just because it's going to be washing out some stuff, but couldn't ask for much better when I get 2 days in a row of fresh snow to judge the tracks on. It's about 6:22. I'm headed back to that area where I tracked that buck yesterday. I think that my plan is I'm going to hunker down in that area and see if I can't figure him out. I don't quite think that's him. Yeah, that one's high heeling pretty bad. That could possibly be him. Oh yeah. Definitely him. Holy cow. Yeah, that's the big boy right there. Holy cow. Yeah, that is him. This is where he exited the woods and came out onto this road. The woods that he just came out of there, that's the woods that I tracked him in yesterday. So this might be his set that when he first walked out last night. No, probably from like 6, maybe 7 or 8 o'clock last night. Ooh boy, this is turning into quite the saga with this buck. I'm pretty excited about it. The best part about this is that I've got a lot of public this way, so unless he swings back that direction, we should be in good shape. I'm gonna go look around and see if I find a fresher version of his track crossing anywhere. He's just working his way along. Looks like that's where he goes in the woods right there. Well, there was a pretty solid track that crossed the road down here, but I don't think it's the big buck. I'm headed back right now and gonna go jump on that big buck that I was after yesterday. Probably 10 hours behind him. I'm gonna have to get on my horse and get after him.
Big woods hunters need gear to withstand the elements, and Big Woods Bucks has what you need. To learn more about our wool hunting and outdoor gear, go to bigwoodsbucks.com.
I'm grateful. And thank you. Yeah. I think that's his poop right there. He's packing on the feed bag right now. He's pretty hungry. This deer is heading right towards that crossing. It is the same buck. Man, that's a bummer. If I had started on the right one, I could have cut off a bunch of hassle. Well, the good news is he's heading in a direction that I can hunt him. Now that's kind of cool. He made a rub right here. There's another tree that's got a rub up here. So this is one of his core areas. He left a rub there too. Wow. Just stumbled across moose poop. Probably not huge for moose, but it's a moose. Flip. Jeez. Man, that grouse scared the crap out of me. Oh. Well, here we are, my boot tracks. Wasted an hour and a half on the cold end of the track. I could have started right here. What a bummer. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me at the end, because sometimes those little mistakes add up. It's a beam hole mark. He stuck his antlers down in there. Looks pretty massive. There's this really interesting thing. You got this big rock face. He came up right up to the edge of it. You could see it right up in that opening up there. That's where he stood. I think that he went there to overlook this crossing because this is like a little land bridge here. And he wanted to observe if it was safe enough to cross before going down. That, my friends, is a big buck. So one of the things you'll hear a lot of buck trackers talk about is that when a buck steps through into a hole of water like that, you can usually tell if it's a really recent one, if the water is murky and muddy. You can see that there's mud that he drug up, but it's pretty clear water on the inside. He's close, but he's not super screaming close. Like, he's not minutes ahead of me. He went down and took a drink from the stream here. Oh. He came back down. And that looks really fresh. That's Packy. Oh, he's going this way. His track looks much more fresh now. I just gained a bunch of time on him right there. Figured out what happened. He was out here feeding, and I was over there, and the wind is coming this way. So when I was back up in the woods over there somewhere, before I got to the land bridge, my scent blew to him, and he started bounding, running away. So I I've caught up to him. He ran straight with the wind to his back, so that's not good. Good news is I got 7 hours of daylight left, so we're gonna get some opportunities, I can tell you that. There was nothing I could do in that scenario. He's up on top of this knob and I gotta go through a hellhole of brush. So that's where he was bedded, and I had to come through all of that. There's no way. My wind might have even boogered it too anyways. But he's bounding out. The bed's the length of my gun. It's a big boy. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit of time. Now he's educated. He's gonna be a tough deer to kill now.
Our diverse seed mix combined with our 1-2 system produces healthy deer. If you want to learn more about our 1-2 system, go to vitalizeseed.com.
Going into a black spruce bog. Soft, quiet walking. He's still moving a little bit, but not going real fast.
So things kind of got into a debacle there. The buck started heading right on top of some guy's boot tracks, and so I'm like, you know what? I don't need to walk up on some guy on his deer stand. Like, he went for like over a mile, just cruising around looking for a doe. Didn't even faze him one bit. Now that's what you call a big buck rub. Look at the size of that moose track. You got the dew claws right there. That's a big one. Big moose track. And that is the moose bed right there. Huge body. This moose just destroys all of the buds on these trees. There is so much moose sign, moose tracks everywhere, all over here. This is kind of fun.